Hi, my name is Melissa Genoble, Miss Genoble, and I'm going to talk about effective learning communities today. So we're going to start with classroom management and positive behavioral supports. I'm a firm believer in using the Give 'em 5 method that first gives clear and concise expectations that you make with the students or have them have some collaboration time to you in this and post them across the room so that there is a visual of it at all times. In order for students to learn emotional control, you also have to present emotional control over anything that happens in the classroom. You have to be consistent with the way you handle behaviors and then share with the students the benefits for changing their behavior one-on-one. It's not something to be shared across the classroom. And then you hand that responsibility to change over to the student. So the biggest thing about the Give 'em 5 method is it's not sending the kid out of the classroom. If at all possible, you keep the class as a whole and you move over to the student to quietly discuss the behavior and how to change it, what their expectations are, etc. And it's best used if it's used school-wide and not just in an individual classroom so that everybody's on the same page. For the evaluations of this strategy, it's what if it's not working? Well, communication with Give 'em 5 is key. Communication between the students and the teacher, appropriate communications between the students, and then also communications with the administration. So that if you should have to send a student out of the classroom, there is a reason and there is a way for the student to return to the class through communication skills. So this includes one-on-one discussions with the student themselves. When you talk to your about the expectation that they are not adhering, then they also need to know that you guys are a team in this. So one adhering to, it is then the student's responsibility to come up with an action plan as far as what their behaviors will be if in the same situation the next time. And they need to clearly define their part in the it also has to include them and they have to be very clear about that so that you can then hold them accountable. If you need to take it a step further and discuss the issues occurring in your classroom with other teachers and administration so that you guys can form a best way to address the issue in your classroom. You can also invite one of them to come in and observe and provide feedback so that you can better suit the needs of your students. And then you make the appropriate changes. To use the assess social skills evidence-based strategy. I plan on being an IDSMD teacher, a special education teacher, and so I think to best suit the needs of my future students, it's best to model the theory of we are a team, and so that we all need help sometimes. Our teammates, we all help each other as a class, providing appropriate feedback, and we help kindly. We give comments to each other. Um, Also promoting positive peer interactions and reducing the peer pressure is teams make good choices. And in my experience with students at the IDSMD level, they do try to, if we just promote that they make good choices, then they will all make those good choices together. And then, so if we are speaking kindly to each other, giving positive feedback, giving negative feedback in a positive way, working together to make this that social skill. which leads to the benefits of it promoting the good social skills that provides a healthy environment to the classroom. It gives them social skills that they can use later in life, throughout their life, because we all need good communication skills, regardless of what our path in life. And then also promotes those healthy relationships, because we will have relationships throughout our life, and it's best for them to be positive. So, and if they aren't, they have those communication skills to communicate that to then make it a better relationship. Potential concerns with using this practice is until the students learn how to correctly wording of the feedback, especially with that intellectual level. A lot of times they just blurt out how they're feeling and they don't think about how it's going to affect others. So until we work out those kinks, that would be a concern. And then another negative concern would be, what if they all choose a negative route? As by promoting a team aspect, eventually you may speak, and if they make a negative choice, then the rest will follow. So that would be a negative concern. As far as classroom, I am on diversity and flexible seating if appropriate for the students, but I'm also no responsibility. So if the flexible seating is not working, then it will then be taken away. And I feel like each classroom needs a way to provide in one-on-one instruction. As you can see in my photograph here, and then I'll explain it more in each of my specified circles. Guides in the circle area around the smartboard, that's a whole group instruction area. Small group instruction would be the smaller arrangement of desk of 2 to 4, and also the semicircle desk with the teacher chair on one side and then the 3 chairs on the other. As far as independent and one-on-one instruction, you have individual desks, you have spots on the carpet, you have some rocker chairs there on the carpet, and then also the semicircle desk would also one-on-one instruction with the teacher. For a whole group, as shown in the picture, I would have desks placed in a U shape around the smart board calendar area, with specific seating arrangements that would help promote students helping each other through those lessons. It limits the behaviors between certain students, and it places students in spaces that suits their specific needs. Since, like I said, my students will be either intellectually disabled or medically disabled, severely medically disabled, some of those students will not be able to be in certain locations due to their specific needs, medically and educationally. For small group instruction, we'd have student groupings. For this teacher-led, we had that semicircle desk, and the students would be around the table, the teacher on one side. We could also do small groups that could happen either there on the carpet area with their dots, or in the table of the room. Teachers could also join the students on the carpet or stand over in their grouping area as well. For independent one-on-one instruction, it would provide individualized instruction for the student. So the desk and the flexible seating throughout the classroom are available to suit their specific needs. And so if we find that an area is not appropriate for that student, then they would then be limited to not being able to use that location. And then as the teacher, I would move around the classroom and do my direct instruction or observations of the student in the area that was best suited for them. It wouldn't always be them coming up to my desk. It would be me then going to them, so that they are most comfortable. So that is my social emotional strategic plan, that I feel will be utilized best in my classroom once I am in the field, and from observations as a para and a substitute, I really feel like this is a feasible plan to work with the students that I'm targeting to potentially teach.